Hi, this is Peter Godinez, your ambassador with K80Y TV with a segment of Meet the Candidate. And we have the good fortune of having Mike Morgan, who is the Vice Mayor of the city of Camarillo. And Mike is actually running for Supervisor for the 3rd District, and that's why we have the good pleasure of spending this time with Mike. So Mike, thank you for your time. I know you're a busy person. I saw your calendar and it's filled. So thank you.
Well, my pleasure. This is a good day to be inside. It's so hot outside, so it's kind of fun.
It is fun. And you know, during our calisthenics, you have so much about yourself. And I'd like just to start with, just give us a little bit of history of who you are.
Well, if you know, I was born in Texas.
Born in Texas.
Okay. As they say in Spanish, yo soy un tejano.
Oh.
I'm a Texan. And, but I've been here in Camarillo. My dad retired from the Navy, so I'm a Navy brat. For the last 53 years, we've been in Camarillo. And so we were here when it was 11,000 people. And
wow.
As we moved along, I ended up graduating from USC with a master's degree. And before that, I played a little football in junior college and went to Long Beach State and then ended up at USC.
Wow.
So I've got to know all the areas as far as my education is concerned in Southern California. But my job, when I came out of USC, I became a probation officer for Ventura County first. After 4.5 years there, I went to I got interviewed for the position of U.S. probation officer in Central District. And so I remember them putting me to the test. Do you speak Spanish? Okay. They started speaking Spanish to me right there. And I answered them. They said, okay, he's okay.
And with no accent, too. This is very well stated.
Yo acento también. But anyway, I got hired, and I worked for the feds for 24 years. Okay? My last, thank God, my last 9 years was here in the 3 counties north, in the north part of the district, all the way up to Paso Robles. So I had the longest supervision area in the United States, from Paso Robles to Calabasas. And because I spoke Spanish, if they got overloaded in the valley, Mike, you got to take a couple over here. So I got to know this whole area very well. From there to here for 9 years, you got to know where the best steakhouses are, lunch places, and all that stuff.
Of course.
So anyway, I enjoyed that job. Then I retired and went to work with my best friend that was doing a redevelopment project in Reno, Sparks, Nevada. He knew that was one of my expertise is redevelopment, because I helped bring it to Camarillo. And so Camarillo's redevelopment district's beautiful. Well, we did the same thing in Reno for a whole area, and the city just loves us. But my job is to go up and work with the city and you know, put this into a position where it benefits the whole city, because it was nice. It was around a gravel pit that was dug, and the guy left 3 miles around this thing, 165 feet deep, and they had to come in and when he first showed me the project, I looked over the edge and went, what are we going to do here? A little water in the bottom? No, they're holding the water down, and they're going to grade it like this all the way around. I said, they're going to grade the whole thing? I'm in, because I knew it was going to be a special project for that city.
Oh, that's
and so
amazing.
we did, and they love it.
Now the Supervisor district, the 3rd District, entails Camarillo, Santa Paula. You were in the Santa Paula parade, and I love the car that you're driving in, but is there any other area? That's usually my question, is the district. Am I covering most of the cities when you say Santa Paula and Camarillo?
The district goes from Blackwood Valley way up the top,
yes,
and shoots straight down through Fillmore, Santa Paula, all the farmland in between, through Camarillo, all the way down to Hueneme. Hueneme and part of Oxnard down there is also in the district. And so it covers a long area.
You know, I know that was one of the questions our audience will want to know as you go through that, but you being the Vice Mayor of the city of Camarillo, obviously you have set jobs and responsibilities that people in your past prior to you have done. But what have you done outside of that that just really shows the passion and who you are?
Okay. Outside of work, when I first became a city councilman, my personal goal was to make this the best place in the world to live. At that time, we had some outdoor toilets still here and some billboards. Well, there are no outdoor toilets anymore, and there are no billboards. We have one, I think, left out of those. And we had one little theater screen down on the boulevard, Ventura Boulevard. Well, now we've got 2 major theaters and another small one, so people have entertainment. They don't have to go to Ventura, Oxnard, or somewhere else. At that time, Thousand Oaks didn't have anything either because they're our size. And so it was all running over, running out the Ventura and Oxnard. Well, now we've got the whole picture here. You don't have to leave. That was one of my goals. Now, to do something special here, first, I introduced the growth control ordinance. Growth control ordinance helped lower that 3,600 units that were being built a year. Imagine that. 3,600 new units were being built a year.
Wow.
That's several years before I got on the board. Well, we took it to the ballot, we took it to the people, and we set a limit of 400. 400 units a year, and we've been under 400 through all these years, since 1982. It's been under 400 on the average. So we've done a good job of holding that growth down so we can manage it and bring in the right, right public works projects like bridges and other things, and have it where the schools aren't overwhelmed. And so it's one financial officer that came in and talked to us about how we were doing, said to us, advisor I should say, said to us, one of the reasons that you guys have done so well is that you put that growth control ordinance in years ago and it's let you manage it. That's exactly.
And they remember that.
And we can look at Thousand Oaks as an example. They were our size. They had a growth control ordinance, but a little less, cutting. That growth control, they are 130,000,
Right.
and we're 60-something. We were the same size at that time.
Really?
And so who's grown fast? Oxnard was 25,000 at that time. Now what are they, 220? Who's grown? So when they talk about overgrowing and growing fast, this city has not done that. We've held it there. So that was one. The redevelopment agency itself, like I told you, that's one of the things I want to bring into town. And we did. The city council at that time okayed it, and we've done a great job in improving that boulevard and some other areas with redevelopment. The concerts in the park you see here, the stage, I'm the founder of that.
I did not know
I came to the city council and asked, because I'm a Texan, I remember having concerts in the park as a kid. And so I said, can I put some concerts in the park on? I always remember they told me, Mike, don't too much because that's going to be a police station someday. Well, in my head I'm going, yeah, right, with church right here and you're on the west end of town, and but I'll let it go. And so when it came time to, they let me do it.
Right.
Well, the first year was 800-900 people. And I had 2 vice principals from the local schools that wanted this to happen. So they gave us their stages. We had to go pick them up, brought them over, set them up every time,
Wow.
and put on the concerts. Well, we moved the stages so you can see where's the best place in the park to be in the future. Well, we found this had no echoes off the walls, and it's great. So we then set out to, I went to the city council, I'd like to build a gazebo or something here so I don't have to keep bringing these stages. By that time, you got a lot of people attending, and they said, okay, but Mike, you have to bring it in like any developer. You've got to come and get it approved. So first of all, I got the Ventura Architects came in and did the thing for free.
Wow.
Designed it for free for us. Because they want to see it happen too. The whole community was involved. I mean, the Moose Lodge, they came and built the foundation, for putting in the cement. My friend I called up, these are examples. My friend from high school owned Blue Star, Danny Gallagher. His father owned Blue Star over in Moore Park Cement. And I called Danny, help me do something for the city. So he brought and donated all the cement. And it went on and on. Pardee gave us the wood for the framing. It just went on and on. And so it was actually a real community project. No taxpayers' dollars. Zero.
What a form of collaboration and bringing people together, and that's quite an example of that.
Well, that took me 3 years of hard work, getting the donations, getting things going, and getting this completed. And so if you're going to be a city councilman, or if you're going to be someone, this is not part of the city council, this is extra. And so is redevelopment, so is the growth control. I can go on and on. There's a lot of things in the community that I went out, that I worked on that aren't just city business. Now, if someone's going to run for higher office, you better ask, what have you done outside of your work?
Exactly.
And see how you've accommodated your people. And do you make yourself open? I mean, I get calls all the time. On my card, you've got my cell phone, you've got everything.
You're accessible.
And so I get calls all the time.
You received my call, I was really impressed. Now, a lot of the answers to this next question covered, but if I asked you to kind of summarize, it's the fact that all this experience, what are some of the qualifications as to why you're actually running for this supervisor position in the 3rd district? Is that fair to ask?
That's fair.
Okay.
Because I think that's very important to this position, what you bring with you. I've been city councilman and mayor for 35 years, as of November. 35 years. I've been city mayor 5 times, and the experience I've had, because I've been on committees throughout the county and the state. I was in the Governor's Commission of the Californians. I was part of the group that represented California in Mexico, in Baja Sur and Baja Norte, in the 2 states of Baja.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot of stuff accomplished, this commission did, because at one time they would only let you have your house or property in Mexico for 25 years near the ocean, within 25 miles of the ocean. Well, we worked it out with them to allow 50 years, and so that's come about and made a lot more people feel better about being there, because if you have 25 years and it's over, they come and take your house.
Interesting.
A police chief I know took one guy's house. So we got it finished, and we did a lot of good things. But that was a state position that was appointed because I was involved in sister cities and all kinds of things, okay? Then county stuff, I've been on most important committees. I've been on VCTC, which is Ventura County Transportation Commission, for 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm maybe coming back pretty soon. I'm on the air control board right now for the
Yes.
county. I'm on the air control board for the tri-counties. I represent our air control board for the tri-counties, San Luis Obispo, Santa Barbara, and us. Then you learn about what's going on in their areas and how they're handling it. I've also been on the airport authority for 30 years. And the air control, and one of the most important agencies, which pertains to what we're doing right now, and that's water.
Mm-hmm.
These are ones you get appointed to, you get selected and appointed to, not elected to or something. And the Association of Water Agencies for Ventura County is a very important board, because you can learn a lot about what's going on in our own county and other counties throughout California. Like, for instance, an example, the next 2 weeks we're going to have a big AWA reception at the Ronald Reagan Library. We have one of the top speakers on water coming. But we also may have the governor. And I'll tell you why. We invited the governor first, but he hadn't responded over all these weeks. And so we called their office and said, well, we may have to cancel the governor if he's not coming. And they said, no. He does this. He'll tell you at the last minute. So we may still have the governor coming to this conference.
Right.
And again, getting ideas about water is so important for this county and the state.
Yeah.
And there's a lot going on that's fantastic in the state, where people are handling and making new ways of making and handling water. Southern California has gone so far in cutting water, it's unbelievable. I'm proud of this, Southern California. But those are some of the important duties that are countywide, statewide, but then you've also got all the boards that are citywide.
Right.
Be it finance, be it investment, on and on and on. And so, with all that experience, I'm sorry I'm leading up this in such a long way.
No, you're doing a very nice job of it.
But with all this experience and dealing with different people throughout the county on different boards, especially the Board of Supervisors, they're on a lot of those boards, then you learn how to deal and work with the county. And so that's some of the, I think that's some of the experience that really counts. And if you didn't have it, it's going to take you years before you can catch up with that. Okay?
No, that's good.
And so if you aren't on an elected board now or aren't some of these other boards, it's going to take you longer to catch up.
As I internal all the things that you're saying, there's a voice in me that's going, all this, and I know you have a very successful family life, and I was wondering if you feel comfortable talking about the concept behind every great man. There is a phenomenal empowered woman, obviously offspring. Tell us what you feel comfortable with, because that's impressive too. With everything you've done, I'll shut up.
My wife and I have been married 43 years.
Wow.
Okay? I got a beautiful wife, and she has been behind me on all this stuff, of course. And with the clubs I joined, I didn't even mention the clubs we're in.
That's like a whole different, sequel,
world,
right?
Yes. Be it the Rotary, be it the Moose, or be it the others that we're involved in. And she's involved in clubs like that too, Seroptimus, on and on. The Metal Arcs and so on.
Right.
So between us, we're very busy, but her club has activities. I have to be there to help, the husbands help.
Of course.
Of course. And the Fiesta, the one that we put on here with the concerts, I'm sorry, the Arts Council, all these concerts, she's there with me. We're the longest members because we put it together. And like we've got a big one tonight. We have the Elvis Presley imitator, you know?
That's going to
And
be
he's
well
been every-
populated.
Oh, that's why you see the grass full of chairs out there.
I saw it.
But we also are very involved with the Fiesta. And she and I have been in one way or the other running it for many years. And so I'm trying to find other leaders so they can run it and give us a break. But that Fiesta brings in 35,000 plus people. We have a great team that works, and everybody's got their specialties. You got the carnival, you got the entertainment, both stages, you want the car show, you got 200 booths, and it goes on and on. And you have to have people in place to help make all that run.
And that's amazing. I'm almost thinking you could actually do a movie on you in about an hour and a half, 2 hours. So maybe this was the prequel. And I wish we could go on, but you know what? All good things somehow need to come to an end, but to be continued, right? So, Mike, thank you so much for spending the time with us. Much success in your run for supervisor of the 3rd District. And so I want to say, everybody out there, thank you for your time and watching this. And so this is Peter Godinez with KDY Ambassador. And until next time.